Hello and welcome to the very first episode of our brand new show, Make Some Noise. And we have on for our guest today my good friend, metal legend, Ronny Munroe, and of course my great, wonderful co-host, Jammie Bosstel, a great, huge talent in his own right. I will let you start it off today, Jammie. Anything you'd like to ask Ronny?
How's it going today? How's the
Good.
music coming along?
Oh, everything is great right now. Live Say is doing very well. We've got 2 videos out so far, both with over 1 million views, which is quite phenomenal, actually.
Yeah,
And,
that's really good.
and they're actual views. They're not bought and paid for. So, I mean, we're very proud of that. And we got another video. Actually, we're going to be shooting next weekend. Vampire theme. The song is called Darkest Hour. So I got that going on. And then my solo stuff is that band Beyond the Wrath, which is celebrating my years with Metal Church when I go out live. And also I'm writing original material again for the next for my next solo record, which actually is going to be under the moniker of Beyond the Wrath. But I'm writing with the guy Nat Saralamba, great guitar player, kind of diamond in the rough. I'm very lucky to have hooked up with this guy. And so far what he's putting out and sending me is pretty fucking awesome, to be honest. Pardon the French.
Let's kill that.
Go ahead, Jammie.
I'm sorry. I listened to a lot of your stuff today. Checked out a lot of the stuff. I checked out the Beyond the Wrath. I know my friend's your manager or something. Joe Lawson's managing you.
Yeah. Joe Lawson, good friend of mine, man. I've known Joe for a lot of years now. And he called me up one day and presented something to me. And I was like, I can trust you. And he's loyal. And actually, you couldn't ask for a better friend.
That's the bottom line. You want somebody you can trust for sure, especially in this business, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And he's doing this, at this point just for me. I encourage him in the future, if it works out, to do something, for maybe somebody else. But for right now, he's focusing on what I'm doing, and I'm blessed for that and thankful.
And I can tell you, Ronny, in my experiences with Joe, he's a super cool guy. And I think what's great for you to have a manager like that, who you're so close with, is the fact that he's a fellow musician. He's tried to make it in the music business himself. So
the Scream King.
Yeah. So, I've known Joe. I've known Joe since high school.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man, that guy can hit. I think he can hit a higher note than I can. I mean, holy shit.
Really? You think so?
I go up with the Scream off sometime.
Yeah.
But no, he's got a great voice, and he's a very good writer as well. So yeah, Joe and I hooked up at the very beginning. I reached out after the first Metal Church record I did, and after that we became fast friends and always stayed in touch. And now we're hooked up like this. And like I said, man, the sky is the limit.
And I gotta say, in regards to your stuff with Metal Church, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was your final album with the band. I think it was called Generation Nothing. And
Correct.
What a title! I mean, I love that. I mean, you went out being your final album with the band. You really went out with a bang on that one.
Well, I appreciate that. Actually, Vanderhoof did come up with that title, and but it was a great record and all that. And my years with Metal Church were great.
Sure.
And then of course things happened. Business side of it came in, and stuff happens. But I appreciate that, because that was I think my favorite record was Weight of the World, because that was the first one I did.
That's a good album, man. I listened to that today, and I think the drum sound, the snare sound is phenomenal, and the production.
And with Weight of the World, that was with Kirk Arrington, Jiggy, as we used to call him. God rest his soul. He actually had a birthday recently. Craig was a great drummer, and that was the only record that he played on with me, unfortunately.
Yeah, the production on the snare, I listen to the snare. I'm a producer. I record stuff too, and I listen to stuff. And first thing I heard was, oh my God, that snare sounds so good. And
and Vanderhoof produced that and engineered that.
Really? That's awesome.
Must do his credit.
That's really good. Really good production.
Yeah, I thought so as well as Light in the Dark. So
I also checked out Cave. That's pretty cool stuff too.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, those guys, great, great band, great guys. They're all in Germany, but I'm here in the States, so
Yeah.
that's kind of what ended up being the unfolding of that. No hard feelings whatsoever. It just happened to be the finances and that the distance, really.
Yeah.
But they've got a new record. If you look at my Facebook, they have a new song out. I wrote the lyrics to that. I was going to be the singer on that, but when I decided to, when we talked and I left, I said, no, I'm going to give you guys the lyrics. That's the least I can do, and the melody lines and whatnot. And they've used the majority. They've reworked some, of course, but Time Riders is a majority mine. So, yeah, but thanks for mentioning that, because they're great guys, great band.
I got to ask you, Ronnie, how far are you into the new Ronny Munroe solo album, or have we started on that yet?
Yeah, actually, yes. Well, I released something the last about 3-4 months ago called "Steal the Fire," which was written with Nat and I. And right now we've got 3 other songs in the works. I'll give one title out. "Empty Mirrors" will be the next one. Pretty heavy.
And do you have a set group of guys that are in your band that are going to be on the record, or do you have different players coming in?
Well, right now, as far as the writing that I'm doing that with Nat, and I'm also had BJ Zampa, from Dawkin and House of Lords on drums.
Oh, wow.
BJ's awesome. Yeah, we bring him in and he does the drum tracks for us. And one of these days we'll go out and we'll play with him live as well. And so yeah, I mean, I use the people, or I should say, ask the people that I've met over the years.
Sure.
If you want to come in and contribute and this and that. And, I've been very lucky with that and stuff. And BJ's one of them,
As far as your recording, you have a home studio that you do it at?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I have my own little, it's not a huge, I'm in my haven right now, basically, or my man cave, if you will. But yeah, I record my vocals here and, mostly for demos. But a lot of times also I step it up and I bring someone in to help me out. And then I will send off the more professional, if you will, sounding wave files and, all the appropriate things you do when you do a project.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Jammie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, are you utilizing technology these days? I record stuff myself at home. I just got a little desktop studio and I put out 2 albums on my own, but I did it totally with programmed drums. And actually it was Joe Lawson that gave me that idea, actually, because he put a record out with programmed drums and a guitar player.
Yeah.
He got signed in Germany. Did he tell you about that?
Yeah. He's told me about that.
He told me about that. And once he told me, I go, you know what? I've done it all. I've done it at studios with bands and everything. I've done it that way. Why don't I try it? And I tried it and I'm having fun. So.
Well, and that's the thing, as you said about technology, man, it's a double-edged sword.
Oh, yeah.
See, if you don't learn how to use it, I mean, we're all like, AI now is the huge thing, which I'll be talking out of my ass, to be honest, because I really don't know that much about it. The only thing I do know from what I've seen, it's the beginning of the end.
That's what everybody says. Yeah.
So, but again, back to the double-edged sword. You can also, if you learn to use it correctly, you can use it to your advantage. But we just don't want to put ourselves out of business as a real band.
Right.
As opposed to a made-up band that no one gets paid but the person that made up that said band.
Yeah.
I have an interesting to tell you, something interesting to tell you, Ronnie.
Yeah.
You and I have something in common. You sang for Lilian Axe, right?
Yeah, for a bit.
Was that in 2009?
I believe so.
I think I seen you, and I think I seen you in St. Joe, Michigan at Czars, right? And check it out. Who I was hanging out with was the guitar player John Sturr from Lilian Axe. I started my band Praise the Fallen with John Sturr.
Oh, okay. All right. Small world, huh?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Yep. John's actually from Stevensville, Michigan. I live in South Bend, Indiana, and actually John lived with me for a little while, and we made a record, and I've kept Praise the Fallen going since he's passed on.
Well, my condolences on that, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, but we have that in common. You're in Lilian Axe, and I started a band with a blonde guitar player from Lilian Axe.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to say, Steve Blaze is a good guy.
I would love to
Great
meet him.
player, and just a good Christian man. I
Yeah,
always like Steve. It's been a minute since we've talked, but I give my best to him always.
I believe I seen you
This wasn't my
perform.
cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm more of a metal singer.
Sure.
I tried it, but again,
Yeah.
it was like one of those things like, I don't think this is right for me. So that would have been a disservice to him and their fans, as to me as well. So
They've grown so much, though. Like what he does now,
they
the music he does now is a lot like what you're doing now.
they've gotten heavier, haven't they?
Yeah. They're singing about other things besides, girls and stuff like they used to.
Well, that's true. We all did. Well, I didn't in the 80s. I still was try to be in depth and that
Right.
became the mystic guy.
Right. I got you. There's no mystery no more,
Trying to
though.
get the chicks to dig me.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I think the one thing Steve and Ronnie have in common is they're still in the game. They're still out there doing it, And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you got to love them about that, Yeah.
I just turned 60 in
You don't
November.
look it. I mean, rock and roll must be keeping you young.
Oh, brother, thank you so much. I've actually had a few people say, what do you look like you're 48. I'm like, oh, well, fuck, awesome.
That's
But,
good. Yeah.
considering the life that I've led, I've never really been into anything too hard to make me just shrivel up.
That's good.
I've done my share of partying and being on the road and all that, but it comes to having good genes, I guess, and actually not doing over excess.
Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, if you don't mind me getting
as a
personal,
singer.
if you don't mind me getting personal, Ronnie, for a minute, I gotta put this out there because I've known you a long time. You and I were reminiscing before Jammie came on, and the fact is that there was a point in your life where I know you've since remarried, but you were married to this other woman, and she got to a point in life where she was battling cancer, and you took off like 5 or 6 years just to take care of her, be with her. You were really dedicated. So I know in your own personal life you've been through a lot, and so it's great to see that you're still out there doing what you do.
I really appreciate that, Jason, and it was a learning experience. Cancer, of course, as we all know, is a horrible thing. It doesn't matter what form it is.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, hers was malarian ovarian, which I was told was a rare and aggressive form. But we battled for it was over 4 years, and I did. I took a break because hey,
nothing more important than your family member.
It was all she had, and and I loved her, and
sure.
So music, basically, as we all should be, family comes first.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I won't go into the other side of that because I know it's kind of screwed people. But yeah, it was a rough time for me. But and now I'm back, and I'll tell you what, man, it does make for some really cool lyrics and some good storylines, and it's very cathartic, to be honest, for me to write about it.
For sure.
And stuff, and then again, man, it goes to prove that we're only here one day at a time, man. And especially the older we get, we got friends that are dropping like flies for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And instead of just saying, whatever, man, tomorrow's going to be here, we should really be thanking, thanking the stars,
a privilege, man.
You believe in that you're still here, man. You're still alive.
Yeah, every day's a privilege for sure. I just had a friend who Christmas Eve had a heart attack and just went over like that. And the next day he was in a coma. Wow. You just never know, man.
Yeah, you don't.
So I'm a singer too.
Write music and singing and getting out there and making people happy.
Yeah, I'm a singer too. And in my 20s, I had to make a decision. I stayed in the area for my son. My dad wasn't in my life, so I chose to stay in my kid's life. I could have left, and I had some opportunities, but I didn't take them because I wanted to be a dad to my son.
Yeah.
So
I did that for a long while myself, and
yeah,
luckily my son was old enough to where when I made it, so to speak,
right.
I was able to be able to go on the road and not have to, worry about changing diapers and things like that at that point.
On that
But
note, Ronnie, how's
still I
booking?
miss times. But as all of us, as fathers and musicians being on the road, we all that can be tough.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. On
And
that,
especially the women behind you, you got to have a very, very
Oh
tough
yeah,
woman
yeah,
that
yeah,
understands that you have to be on the road.
sure.
yep,
Even like a truck driver, that's what you do for a living. You
yep,
got to be on the road. So
yeah.
you got to have the right person with you to understand that.
Right. You have to have a confident, strong woman. Be able
I
to do
have that now. The ones I had before, not so much.
right. So on that note, how's the bookings going? How's it looking for you?
Well, we're booking right now. We're doing some dates in Indiana, Michigan. I'm doing that in March. We're planning that now. Joe's working on that. Live Say is also at the point where we're putting our feelers out for shows. That CD is actually on the way. It's been pressed, and we're also going to have vinyl, which is very cool. That'll be here in a couple months because, of course, vinyl takes a bit longer.
So
Right.
Ronnie, you will come back on the show when you're ready to promote that, right?
Oh, dude, of course, man. Yeah, I'll come back, Jason. Yeah, you and I have known each other for a long time.
That's
So,
why when I thought to do this show, and this was a premiere episode, I thought, yeah, I got to call Ronnie. I haven't interviewed and spoke to him. In fact, the last time I spoke to you was when you were Vicious Rumors, and there was some talk you were going to be doing an album. Do you want to get into what happened with them, or would you rather not?
oh, no, you do. Like I told you, you can ask me anything you want. The prelude of what you said before about the stuff that I went through
Sure.
and all of that was a great opportunity. So I thought, but for me, mentally and just my mind was not there yet.
Okay.
To
Yeah.
really be out on the road, traveling in a van in the dead of winter, it's singing 6 nights out of 7,
Wow.
making nothing basically,
Yeah.
and whatnot. But that's I'll leave it at that. But on my side, I wasn't ready just to be back out there.
Well, I give you credit for being honest with them about that, and it takes a big man
I
to.
love the music, man.
Yeah.
I've always been a huge fan and whatnot, but and I liked a couple of the guys pretty well, and but I'll leave it at that. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay, didn't work out, but you got all this. Now, Joe also shared with me when he started working with you as your manager that you guys were in the process of getting the rights back to, I guess, a lot of your solo music and getting it back on YouTube. Have you managed to do that?
Yes, thank you for that, man. Yes, Joe had helped me get up all 3 solo records. The Fire Within, Lords of the Edge, and Electric Wake are back up digitally. So if you go to my site, ronnymunroe.com, you can find the links to that. And there's more to come. This year is going to be busy, and with
That's
Joe's help, like I said, the sky's the limit. He's pushing real hard, and so am I. And again, we're just going to get out there and deliver the goods.
You guys are a winning team, and I think it's cool that you guys are friends, and as opposed to just a guy in a suit maybe knows nothing about you, because if you get with somebody like that, it's like, hey, we're not getting the sales we want. We're going to move on to another artist or something like that. I can tell you, Joe's dedicated to working with you. He told me all that you guys have been working on, and I think the fact that you got a guy that's a musician himself, he's lived the life, maybe not to the extreme that you have, but he's been in the music business, struggling, trying to make it. And sometimes it's interesting when people like a lot of the '80s guys, like for example, the drummer from White Lion, Greg D'Angelo, for several years after White Lion, he managed other people and was successful at it. He was more successful helping other people with their careers than his own career.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah. I think the guy in Skid Row, Snake Sabo, or one of them, he's a manager too. He works for Doc McGee, I think.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard that. Yeah.
But a lot of us have went and branched out, and that's something that I actually have aspirations of doing here in the future as well, is with staying within the realm of music, is doing something like that, producing, managing or whatever it is, but we'll see.
Would
Right
you ever
now,
be interested in
right now I'm
writing
not
with
done
other
writing
people,
songs.
Ronnie? Like
What's
writing? Would you ever be interested in songwriting with other people?
I've done that.
Oh,
Actually, that's what happened with Cave. I ended up giving them the lyrics to that record, and I've done some ghost writing in the past, a couple projects, and yeah, right now as we speak, I'm doing a project with a guitar player out of Italy, and he approached me he's got this horror project in mind about nightmares, reoccurring nightmares, and whatnot, and he said, I've heard you're quite the storyteller within your lyrics and all that. I'd really like you to try to bring this to life. And I said, yeah, I was up to the challenge. I love that shit,
oh wow, wow. Okay, I'm going to throw it to you,
Yeah,
Jammie.
I've got the first one done. I'm just as of tomorrow, that'll be finished lyrically, and then I'll lay the tracks down for the demo, and I send it off. And if he likes it, and then he'll say yes or no. Bam, we move on to the next one, or I fix what I did. It's kind of the
Great,
process.
that's great. Wow, you're always keeping busy. I love that about you. Yeah.
It's definitely fun to collaborate with different people, because when you collaborate with different people, different music comes out. You're collaborating with the same people, kind of, it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
You stay a little bit stagnant. You're right, Jamie. It's like, well, and I've had luck enough in my career to work with different kinds of artists, and that's what I like. I mean, with Vanderhoof, there's Metal Church, but there was Presto Ballet.
Yeah.
Did 2 records with him with that, and that's like 70s prog with a lot of Hammond B and really cool stuff, which I grew up on. And then Cave was kind of like that, but more progressive with
a Queensryche vibe to it, I thought.
Queensryche vibe, yeah. Well, sometimes I've been told, my voice lends it to that, but and just and then I got this straight ahead thrash metal stuff that I do and power metal, and all that. So that's where I've always done what I've wanted to do, and it's who knows, maybe that's why I never sold 1 million records. I don't know.
Hey man,
that's really not important to me. I'm just thankful that I'm still doing what I'm doing, and I'm surrounded with a lot of really good musicians and better yet, good people.
Right. I know how that goes. I have 3 original bands myself, and people are like, how do you have 3 bands? I'm like, they're all my friends, man. They're just all my friends through the years. I've gathered friends that all play instruments. So that's how that happens, man. I don't know,
Yeah, exactly.
But I noticed that they remastered the Metal Church stuff. I noticed that too.
Well, yes, they did. And well, God bless them.
Right.
There's I'm not going to say anything else there. I'm sure you'll bring up, but if you don't, I'll bring it up now. There's been a lot of stuff in the press about the way everything went down.
I don't know anything about
that. With the new lineup of Metal Church. And the only thing I'll say on that is there is some truth to all that.
Oh, wow.
But I'll leave that alone for now, because I'll just say this. They did not ask my permission to re-release that at all.
I got you. Okay.
And I wrote 95% of the lyrics. It's my intellectual property. They didn't even ask my permission. I've not received a cent. I've not even received a frickin' CD.
Oh, wow, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
So, but all that's it.
Like that.
I probably already said too much, but I'm in the works. So, I'll get my so-called say.
Yeah, I just happened to notice it was remastered. That's all. I was like, oh, this is remastered now.
Well, I mean, hey, go ahead. I'm sure it's great. I just won't make anything from it.
Only thing I will say about
sorry.
Only thing I'll say about that, Ronnie, kind of interesting though. They're interested in repackaging the music
that you were a part of.
Yeah. And I will say this in regards to the new Metal Church lineup. I'm kind of interested to see what Metal Church with David Ellison is going to sound like, and the new singer of a new lineup. But I always said Metal Church could have been much bigger. I think the only reason they weren't, because a lot of those albums kick ass, but I think it's just from a simple point of being a band that didn't have it.
I don't know why it is, and I'll be honest.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the one member.
Yeah. Well,
That's the reason why that camp has always been unbalanced.
yeah, I was just going to say maybe because they haven't had like
That's
a
it.
consistent lineup, like.
Well, but I will say this. Hey,
Yeah.
look, I've never met Dave Elson, but look, I know who he is. I know of him. Great guy, great bass player, great
Yeah.
reputation.
Yeah.
Ken Mary, a fellow Seattleite, great
I love
freaking
Ken. Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah.
Flotsam, oh my God. Those last two Flotsam records,
He played with
awesome.
Jack Russell's great white. He's playing
Yeah,
with other great white.
yeah. And Brian Allen is a friend of mine. Brian is a grasshopper, I call him. Him and
Okay.
I have known each other since I first joined Metal Church.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was the one that he was in Vicious Rumors.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he did some records and all that. And we've talked over the years and all that. And he's great. And I'm very happy for him. You know, I wrote him and said, hey, dude, congratulations. You know, I hope everything goes well for you. And I saw part of that first video and I thought it sounded great.
Yeah.
I think Brian's a very good fit.
Yeah.
I have
You
another
know?
question.
Yeah.
Or observance, I should say. I noticed that you had taken lessons from an instructor, vocal instructor that taught Chris Cornell how to sing too.
Well, yeah, among others. He taught Jeff Tate from Queensryche, Ann and Nancy Wilson from Heart, Lane Staley from Alice in Chains, and that was David Kyle, the maestro.
David Kyle, yeah, that's it. Yep.
God rest his soul. That he was a great man. Yeah, he had his grand piano there in the window across the street from Alki Beach in Seattle. So we'd go in there and sit there and all the pictures. Yeah, yeah. So I took 6 lessons though. I mean, I just did the introductory thing.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to work on breath control.
Right on. But still,
but it was cool to go to him.
I don't think a lot of people know that Cornell took vocal lessons or Staley, took vocal lessons. You just hear this guy came out of nowhere. It could seem like that, and he's great. It's good to know that. Yeah, right. He cared enough to get schooled for it. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, well, as a singer yourself, man, you've got to have a God-given talent to begin with. They say anyone can sing. Well, I'm not going to say I beg to differ, but I beg to differ.
Right.
Everyone's got a voice, but some just can't carry a tune. So when you can, that's a gift.
I didn't take any vocal lessons myself, but I wanted to be a drummer at first.
Well, you guys, I can't believe. Go ahead.
I took one drum lesson though, and I was like, the guy was showing me sheet music. I'm like, this is boring. How do I rock on the drums? How do I play the Cinderella Long Cold Winter?
We got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I became a singer by accident. If somebody needed me to sing for their band, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, because I was just doing 4-track demos back in the day, just for fun. And the guy's like, I know you can sing, and the rest is history, man.
Dude, I got a similar story, but I got you beat very quickly. So
yeah.
I was a drummer too before I became a singer.
Oh yeah.
And I was in a band called Moxie. No. Yes, Moxie. And our singer, all the guys in the band were older than me, right? Because I was kind of advanced at drums, right? So we're at rehearsal and we get a phone call that our singer had got pulled over and was extradited to another state.
Wow.
So Ray, the guitar player, comes in after he gets off the phone. He goes, Ronnie, why don't you try to sing? So I actually attempted Hallowed Be Thy Name and Man on the Silver Mountain from behind the kit.
Wow, man.
That was horrible. I'm not sure it was like freaking horrible, but on the way back, Ray said to me, and I was, he was older and stuff. He's like, you could be the singer. You're going to be our singer.
You never knew.
Like, wow. What? He's like, yeah, you need to get an amp and a mic and stuff. I'm like, all right. So I went and actually traded my drums into a local music store in Federal Way, Washington. And I got a Bullfrog amp, a Shure 58, a cord, and a stand.
There you go.
That's how I started. That's how I became.
It's amazing how many great drummers or singers, Phil Collins from Genesis, Janie.
Yeah, so many of us, because we're hams, man. We're hidden behind the kit. We want to be up front.
Did you guys know Joey Belladonna could play drums?
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, He's a
what?
monster drummer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big Chief or Little Chief, whatever it is. He goes out and sings a hell of a journey too. Joey's been doing a lot of national anthems as well out there.
He's a
Something I wanna
badass,
do.
man. I opened for him and he played drums and sang a Black Sabbath tune at the same time. I was like, whoa, I didn't even know he could do. That was amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
But-
Cool, man.
I can't believe it's time to wrap it up, you guys, because if we go much longer, the Zoom's going to cut us off. But I want to thank Ronny for being our very first guest. And I want to suggest you guys, since we're all friends with Joe Lawson, next time when Ronny comes on, maybe we can have Joe come on and have a little friend fest here.
Oh, heck yeah.
There we go, man. That would be great. You know, guys, thank you so much for your time. And remember to go watch Take It to the Grave, The Unknown Soldier from Livesay. Watch out for the new video being shot called Darkest Hour, and Beyond the Wrath has also got some dates coming up in March. And just come watch my sites, ronnymunroe.com and all that. And I appreciate
it, guys. And this interview is going to go up Tuesday, so I'll send you the link when it goes up. Okay, Ronny? Take care, my friend.
All right, man. Thanks, guys. Congrats on the show, Jason.
Thanks.